amazing. I mean, this film is a phenomenon. 170 million plus at the global box office, still going. Huge reception just recently in Japan. It's still playing here domestically. I mean, this journey is still unfolding. So it's remarkable to kind of see the kind of stew of influences that are evident in the film. I wanted to start there because it's a long list. As I was watching, I kept getting just hit by certain, cinematic traditions that you kind of stirred into the soup. So tell us a bit about how you approached that. Like, were you consciously thinking of, you have these, we didn't get to see the musicals. If you guys haven't seen the musical numbers, I mean, they're off the charts. So you had those beautifully choreographed, kinetic, song and dance sequences, but you also have the action. You have a period war epic. You have a love story. You have all this stuff going on. So talk about kind of what influenced you. Were you consciously kind of summoning certain influences as you were making the film?
I mean, yes. Thank you, first of all. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yes, a lot of influences. The biggest, I should say, is the way the stories are told in India. That is, going to a film is the cheapest, affordable entertainment for all the family for a long, long time. It's the principal form of entertainment in India. So traditionally, we started writing stories where there is something for everyone. The kids should like it, the elder should like it, the youngster should like it, For every demographic, there should be something in the film for that. So that's subconsciously we write like that. So it's not that it's a conscious decision. And the influence mostly is the epics of India, the characters, the relations between the characters, how one reacts to other. That inspiration is from India. But technically, a lot of inspiration is from the Western movies. Especially my biggest inspiration is Mel Gibson, Braveheart. I love the film a lot. The way he enhances the drama before we go into the action is a very big influence on me.
And I do need to ask you about logistics. What an epic, I mean, there's a lot of computer-enhanced imagery, but you also had a large cast, a lot of interesting locations, a lot of things to accomplish. What was your approach to that storyboarding? Did you have everything pretty well mapped out? How meticulous are you when you, this is not your first rodeo? You've made he's made many films, obviously. But on this one in particular, did you have to create a very specific kind of roadmap? How do you tend to approach that?
So the way I approach is obviously when we do a film of this scale, we have to have a lot of pre-visualization. The first thing I do is like, if you take this scene for example, I see what is the epic moment of this sequence, and I first get a concept art done for that epic moment, which is not here when they both swing back together and hold the hands. That is the most epic moment. So I get a concept art done, but the concept art has to be so good that it is like a film, a frame from the actual film. So we strive to get it on the concept art. Myself, my concept artist, my production designer, my costume designer, my DOP, my visual effects guy, everything, we sit on that and get that frame first. So then we understand, okay, this is the lighting, this is the kind of scale, this is what we are looking at. Simultaneously, we go with storyboards, we do with previs, animated previs, and a lot of stuff and a lot of stunt visualization, which we do before we actually even shoot one frame of the sequence.
And we didn't even talk about the animals. I might throw you a question about the animals later. Those were just an amazing element. But these two characters that we see in this scene, they're obviously the central characters, Raju and Bhim. They're real historical figures. So this film takes place in 1920. In the colonial era. Were you familiar with them? Are they widely known? I have to ask. I forgive the question, but I was struck by learning that they were real people, that you created then this, fictionalized world around.
Yeah, India has many languages, many states, many cultures. Ramaraju and Bhim, the two historical freedom fighters, come from the Telugu-speaking states that I come from. And in Telugu-speaking states, everyone knows them who fought against their oppressors. But outside of my state, very few people know them. No one knows, and outside of India, no one knows about them. So when I was just going through their history, it is where they have very interesting coincidences. Both of them are born at the turn of the 20th century. They left their homes when they were in their 20s, both around the same time, during 1920s. And no one knows what happened to them for a period of 2-3 years. And they came back. Once they came back, they were changed men. They started inspiring people to take up arms and fight against the oppressors. And they never met. So I thought, okay, this is a fantastic opportunity where I can make them come together. Maybe they are friends. They inspired each other to become what they eventually they became in their life.
Yeah.
So I thought this is a great opportunity and went ahead with it.
Amazing. We do have to ask about the music because it's such an integral part of the story. And it's something that I think a lot of audiences, particularly here in the West, associate with Bollywood, the big musical numbers, but you don't disappoint in that department. And I just wanted to ask, Natu Natu was obviously, that's been a breakout hit, actually, and like something of a sensation. Kind of talk about your musical collaborators, your approach to, these musical set pieces, and because they do sort of, it's like they're toppers. It's like you already have a scene like this, which I believe is somewhat early on, maybe 40 minutes or so into the film. So you all just saw that, right? And then it just, it tops it with this unbelievable musical number. So I don't know, talk a bit about your approach to the musical.
Yeah, the way I work is that my whole family is into filmmaking business. My father is a story writer. My cousin is the music director. My nephew is a singer. My wife is a costume designer. So the whole family is into making films. And my cousin, we have a joint family system in India. So all of us are actually like brothers and sisters. We grow up together.
Do you make them use agents, or you just? I just want to make sure they're getting the fair price. That's all.
They do. They're all seniors to me. I am the junior guy. So as a young kid, I looked up to him. He's the eldest of all the cousins, and he knew how. As a kid, he knew how my brain works, and also he has written music for more than 230 films. So he has a lot of experience. But when we really come into making the films, we talk very less about the music. We talk more about the emotional flow of the film. He tries to pick my brain to understand how I am trying to make the emotions flow in the film. And the biggest musical discussion that we have is during the background score. Even then he tries to figure out which is the heart of the film, where did the whole story start? What is the whole story about? And once he finds that scene, he starts music with that. He doesn't start from the beginning. He starts doing music for that scene. Then he starts expanding. It's quite interesting. We talk very less about the music, more about the emotion of the film.
That's probably the key. That's interesting. So in the last minutes that I don't even have minutes. We have probably a minute. But I just wanted to ask you to reflect on this amazing reception that it's gotten outside of your country. I mean, that doesn't happen very often. I mean, this is a true global phenomenon. What do you think is resonating with people?
Very frankly, to be very frank, I don't know. see, I make films for Indians, and Indians have spread across the world, and US is a big market for the Indian diaspora. So I make films for them, and it released in March, and it did very well. And after 4 or 5 weeks, the run was over. But as we started getting the appreciation on the social media, we thought, okay, maybe few. Then it turned to hundreds, and then the celebrities started talking about, the critics started talking about, the reviewers started talking about, and then we suddenly realized, okay, we made something, something big. Then we re-released the film in June. At the same time, it came on Netflix also, and it really went big. It was on top 10 for 15 consecutive weeks in Netflix. It never happened with any other film, not even Indian film, even Hollywood film. It never happened. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out why people are liking it.
Everybody's going to want you to do it again somehow. But anyway, we hope you do.
Yeah,
Come back
hopefully
again.
by the end of this tour, I understand a little bit more about why Western people, why Americans like the film, and I'll be more wiser.
Excellent. The great SS Rajamouli.